Last time on Hasta, Alaska, we began an incredible adventure in our favourite state in Mexico, Oaxaca, dealing with everything you'd expect from a Mexican road trip, from military checkpoints to political roadblocks. We visited Mexico's most famous waves and showed you exactly what it takes to find your own slice of paradise. This time, we'll be continuing our mission to share our VW Kombi with the people that we meet on the road, finding more classic waves, escaping to the mountains, and dealing with one or two problems. Let's go exploring. We pick up the Hasta Alaska story with Capito heading down a very long and dusty track towards one of my favourite surf breaks. It takes a long time to get down this road, and we were about to use the remoteness of this surf break to our advantage.
This is like the 5th day in a row we've woken up at like 5:30 early so we can get to the waves before anyone else. This feels weird waking up in the dark. I feel like I'm back in the UK in the winter. Let me Worcester. Ready for a surf, mate?
I am. Sleep well?
Yeah man, passed out.
Sun will come up if you don't move out.
With Kombi Life we have an advantage over local surf camps. You see, we can move our surf camp to wherever the conditions are best. And when you wake up on the beach, and you know the next person in the water is at least an hour and a half away, you've got to be doing something right. True to form, the local surf camps did eventually turn up, but not until we were surfed out. All along the Oaxaca coast, locals erect these simple wood and leaf structures known as palapas. At this beach, we had the whole deserted palapa village to ourselves.
This is base camp for the day. Hammock, surfboards, sombra. Perfect.
Our schedule involves surfing a couple of times in the morning to beat the midday winds, refueling and taking refuge in our hammocks during the heat of the day, and occasionally stirring to shake some mangoes out of a tree.
That doesn't work, does it?
No, we should have brought the machete. Please do something stupid. Mangoes! Down there and try to catch this one.
The village that we were basing ourselves in had an announcement at noon every day to tell you which household would be the village restaurant for that evening. We lived alongside these people long enough that they invited us to their annual harvest party. It was somewhat difficult to understand the finer details of why they celebrate, but we particularly liked the dancing, which led into a conga line, which led into everybody frantically ripping fruit from the ceiling, which was rather entertaining.
Oye, güey, para el norte.
Next in the Kombi crew was Becky and Laurie from Australia. You're probably wondering how it is that I find all these people. I'll let Becky explain.
I found out about Hasta on Couchsurfing, which is the organisation where you can go and stay at people's houses. And I was searching and saying that I was going to come and stay in Puerto Escondido, and I saw that Hasta Alaska was there. And it wasn't until I saw the YouTube video, like one of the intro videos, and I watched it, and I literally was like, oh my god, I can stay in the van! And then I contacted Ben, and then I stayed in the van.
But wouldn't you be nervous going to stay with a random guy in a van in remote Mexico?
I was, and my mum and my sister were a little bit naggy about it, but the good thing about couchsurfing is once you've been couchsurfing for a while, you get references, and I just don't stay with people at all that don't have good references, and you have lots of good references from people that have been staying with you. How are you feeling?
Ready for a surf? There's Pumping Surf with your name on it.
We found from experience that anything left outside the tent and not secured isn't there in the morning, no matter how remote you think your camp is.
I like how the first thing that came out of the tent in the morning was the surfboard. Welcome to the world.
Morning.
Free surfside camps like this are definitely one of my favourite things about travelling in Mexico. The street dogs are pretty entertaining too.
Oh, here they go. Oh, they're the two really mangy ones.
Yeah, turn the torch off and stand
Oh, you nicked the lens. Well, everyone will just have to excuse the fact that there is now a blur in the middle of the lens from where the dog licked it. Let's go, puppy. Are we going surfing?
During this time we spent many days hunting out the most remote waves. No, we're not taking the puppy surfing, don't worry. He followed us down the beach for the mile hike to the surf, and we couldn't very well leave him stranded on the rocks. The tide can be pretty ruthless in these parts. We normally have our own water supply on top of our Kombi, but unfortunately our rooftop tube was broken at this point, so we had to borrow the neighbour's shower.
heavier than you'd think. road meant to be going down in there?
Depends on your technique, I guess.
Hasta la mexicana.
Pasta a la beetroot.
Coming in.
I'm the new Kombi life sous chef.
Does any of the beetroot actually make it into the food? What did we learn today?
Don't flip beetroot like pancakes.
Murphy's Law means that it's probably going to be spilled everywhere. You know, I'm actually normally a really bad sleeper, but something about sleeping in the Kombi, I told you, man, I slept so well in Kombi life. I like the moving around, packing things up, everything in a small space, not too much crap, you know? You don't have anything that you don't need. And you get to go to new places all the time. Yeah, it's really cool. Kombi life is awesome. Do it everyone.
Off on another adventure in Oaxaca. We survived these off-roads.
I don't really know if the picture does it justice, but this is where we've been camping for the last couple of nights. It's a surf beach. It's literally just us and the beach.
But surf is fickle and relies on good sandbanks. A perfect point can turn bad at any time, especially when humans mess with it.
So a lot of these points here in Mexico change a lot. The points here in Mexico change a lot because they're doing a lot of construction, they build something and it changes how the sand moves. All day they've been moving this sand up here and it started raining now and you can see in the background it's charging out. Off it goes. We're at San Jose, which is a phenomenal break. Just hope that they haven't just destroyed it.
The shape and size of these sandbanks is vitally important to the quality of the wave. When a lot of sand gets introduced to a break like this, it can change it for months or years.
It wouldn't be the first time in this region that a guy with a bulldozer has unknowingly destroyed a wave whilst trying to capitalise on the influx of surf tourism. Whilst the environmental challenges that face Oaxaca are very real and shouldn't be taken lightly, in Kombi life we have our own problems to deal with.
Kombi being plagued by problems from the very start, or did it happen at some point?
I almost didn't make it out of Santiago. Yeah, it's always had problems. Always.
From the very first place that you left from?
I broke down at the first toll road I ever came to, pretty much every half an hour after that. Almost threw the towel in twice before I even started, before I even left. Probably should have.
Every half an hour for 2.5 years?
Pretty much.
This is us trying to search a possible petrol leak. Well, I've been with you for I think a week now, and every single day this week the Kombi has been a bitch.
Yeah, that's Kombi life.
I still love you, Kombi.
I'm not feeling the same way right now, Capito.
I think the way you bang it like that is very refined mechanic skills.
On the way to Huatulco, probably maybe 20 k's, 30 k's out, and the pulley here for the alternator is starting to chew itself up again. You could hear it rattling. I've only just bought a new one about a week ago because the same thing happened, so obviously there's a problem with the alternator. I'm going to have to take the whole thing out and try and find out what the problem is. Hopefully we make it to the city to do that, because leaving the bus here probably won't have any wheels on it by the time I get back. It's one thing after another.
Wanting to avoid that situation, we found a spot in the shade to assess the damage. We were staying with the village baker who turned out Mexican sweetbreads every day from this earth oven.
This work here was done by a professional mechanic. I paid the guy to do it last time, which was a few days ago, probably less than 50 miles, and hasn't made it very far. And now I've got to take it all out and do it all over again. It's just a waste of money. That's why I do the work myself, because even if I mess up, at least I haven't paid someone else to do it. I'm seriously over this situation. I can't have said it enough times, and those of you that have seen everything that I've been through will know why.
We're filming this for when you put your compilation of why you hate the Kombi together at the end of your trip. What's that you're carrying in your hands?
This is my alternator.
We're walking up the road to catch a collectivo to Huatulco to walk around to find someone to fix the Kombi.
With all the practice that I've had, it didn't take me that long to find a man with the right tools to fix the problem, and we had the alternator shaft rethreaded for just a few dollars. Becky and I decided at this point that we'd leave the Kombi for a while and head away from the hot coast and into the lush Oaxaca mountains for a break. San Jose del Pacifico is nestled 8,400 feet above sea level. It's a place where the local butcher cures his meat in the misty mountain air, and we could take a break from the sweltering heat at the beach.
This town is crazy in the afternoon when the cloud comes in and it engulfs the whole town. It feels like you're living in a cloud.
I'm sitting in the mountains eating really good cake. I'm drinking hot chocolate and it's cold outside. But it's good.
We rented this cute mountain retreat for a couple of days and set about exploring the region's gastronomic eccentricities.
So these are mushrooms from San Jose. Apparently there are many different varieties of mushrooms. These are good for just eating, even though San Jose is quite famous for its magic mushrooms. Have never seen this type before. Just a little old woman came up to the door saying that she had mushrooms for sale, and for once they weren't the magic type. And when I saw these I thought, oh well, might as well give it a go.
We had some of the best quesadillas with locally grown flowers called Flora de Calabaza.
¿Pica mucho la salsa? No?
Poquito, sí.
Poquito.
And then it got really weird.
There's an ant here, massive, huge ants, like the size of the end of my finger, and they eat them, so when in Rome. But not too bad. Your turn.
Should I eat an ant or a cricket? I don't know how I feel about this. I'm really scared of things in real life.
They're dead now, and you're about to get your own back.
Okay, I'm eating a cricket. I'm really scared of them when they're alive. Tastes like tamarind.
Yummy? You want to buy a bag?
In case you were wondering, and I know you were, fried ants and crickets go really well in guacamole. Bex is more of a sweet tooth kind of gal. Back on the coast, the surf scene was not pretty. Heavy rains had emptied out the river, filling the water with debris, dirt, and the odd tree. Not exactly the easiest thing to dodge around whilst you're trying to surf. At this point we turned our attention to alternative activities. We've slacklined in a bunch of our videos, but highlining is a whole different ballgame. case you were wondering what it looks like when you fall, it looks like this. Back at the surf camp, everyone suddenly had the urge to improve their balance, which had one advantage: there were more people to lend me a hand. You can never be exactly sure who will turn up at the Kombi, and in this remote part of Mexico I was very fortunate to have met so many cool people.
Hey guys. Oh, she's going.
Bye. Thanks for having me. Oh my gosh.
Am I sweaty?
Oh, you're so sweaty. And you're covered in sand.
Sweaty and sandy. Sexy.
Bye, Alaska.
Becky was a great travel companion and a true she explorer.
Bye Bex, good luck. Happy travels.
Oh man, I don't know, I love travelling more than anything else in the world. Like anything. I travel because I like new things, I like new cultures, I like seeing new places, and I like meeting new people. And, man, it's so much better than working.
Oaxaca turned out to be one of my favourite parts of this journey, and it was hard for me to leave. But for us, it was time to continue our journey to Alaska. I needed to find people heading north, and the best place for me to find northbound travellers was in Puerto Escondido. Until then, happy travels. Next time on Hasta, Alaska, we're picking up a new Kombi crew and exploring more of Mexico's back roads. We'll be looking for more surf, getting dirty, saving a life, waking up on a super yacht, and surviving the craziest night of the trip so far. Hey, thanks for watching the video guys, please give it a thumbs up and leave us a comment. If it's your first time watching Kombi Life, be sure to subscribe because we have a lot more adventures like this that we want to be sharing with you.
Fucking cats.